Good morning, class. My name is Ms. Pausewang, and today's lesson is called Subtracting Using Base 10 Blocks. On the board are some terms and definitions I would like for you to copy in your math journal. So go ahead and get out your math journal. Thank you. Okay, first term is subtract, which means to take away. In the example here, we see 4 minus 1 equals 3. This symbol right here means to subtract. You see that the 1 is being taken away from the 4. Any questions? Our second term is base 10 blocks. This is a block of 10 ones. This will help you when you are trying to do your problems later on in the lesson. Now if you count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which equals 10 ones. It makes it a lot easier. Now we're going to go over the steps you'll need to know for this lesson. Please copy these notes down in your math journal. First step is to use base 10 blocks to show the top number of the problem. In this problem right here, we have a 10 at the top. That means we only have one base 10 block because one base 10 block equals 10. So it's 10 minus 2. Say we had 11 or 12 up there, then we would have 1 or 2 ones blocks, but because it's only 10, we only have one 10 block. Now see, our problem right here is we can't take 2 away from 0. So we run into a problem. So that brings us to step 2. Take away one 10 block and turn it into 10 separate ones blocks. So we see right here 10 minus 2. Our top number is blue, so it's represented by the blue 1 block. And we take it away, and we're going to separate it into 10 separate ones blocks. We separate it into 10 1 blocks because we're separating this block right here. And because there's 10 in there, we're putting it here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones blocks. Is step 3. Now use your ones blocks to take away that is on the bottom of the problem. So we have 10 minus 2. 2 is our bottom number, so that means we're taking away 2 from 10. So here are 10 ones, and we're taking away 2. You see them crossed out right here. That takes us to step 4. Count leftover 10s and ones blocks, and that is your answer. So you see down here we have 0, 1 block, 10 blocks. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1 blocks. So that gives us 8 as our number. Do we have any questions? None? Okay, now we will do some examples. Please copy these down so you can look back at them later in case you need help. So our first example problem is going to be 46 minus 7. Going based off of our steps are here, our first step is to create ones and tens blocks based on our top number. I've already done that, and because 4 is in our tens position, we have 4 tens blocks, and 6 is in our ones position, so we have 6 1 blocks. Now, our bottom number is 7. Can we take 7 away from 6? No, we cannot. So, in order to do this, we are going to cross off a tens block and create ones blocks to replace it. And now, based off our third step, we're going to take away or subtract our bottom number. So that our bottom number is 7, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our fourth step is to count the leftovers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our answer will be 39. Our second example problem is going to be 24 minus 7. Our first step is to create the tens and one blocks. So here we have 2 tens blocks and 4 ones blocks. Our next step is to separate tens blocks. As you see, 4 minus 7, we cannot do that. 7 cannot be taken away from 4. So what are we going to do? We're going to cross off a tens block, and separate it into 10 one blocks. Our next step is to take away or subtract. So we're going to take away 7 of the one blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our next step is to count the leftovers. So we have 1 tens blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones blocks. So our answer is going to be 17. Our last example problem is 31 minus 9. We're going to create the tens and ones block, so here's 3 tens and 1 1. Then we're going to separate the tens block. We cannot take 9 from 1. Therefore, we're going to have to cross out a tens block, and create 10 one blocks. Our next step is to take away or subtract. We have 9 at the bottom. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we are going to count our leftovers. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now our answer is going to be 22. Any questions? Okay, now we will write 3 problems on the board. I will write 3 problems on the board for you to practice independently. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. I will be walking around in case you need me. Now that I see that everyone's pretty much done, I would like to go ahead and go over the practice problems. I am going to ask you to raise your hand and help me solve these problems. I would like you to give me the first step. So who would like to help me? T-Rex, what is my first step? Yes, to go ahead and put my tens blocks and ones blocks to represent my top number. Good job, T-Rex. What is my second step? Cow? Yes, my second step is to go ahead and take away my tens block and then create 10 more ones. Alright, what is my third step? Frog? Yes, it is to go ahead and subtract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alrighty, what is my last step? Rabbit? Yes, it is to go ahead and to count my leftovers. Your teacher has messed up, but that's okay because teachers make mistakes too. So my answer is 18. Good job, my friends. Second problem is 45 minus 7. What is my first step? Brachiosaurus? Yes, my first step is to draw out my tens and my ones. What is my second step? Pink bear? Yes, it is to go ahead and take away a 10 and write out 10 ones on the one side because we cannot take 7 away from 5. What is my next step? Triceratops? Yes, my next step is to go ahead and subtract because we cannot take 7 away from 5. What is my last step? Valentine's Day bear? Yes, it is to go ahead and count my leftovers. And my answer is going to be what class? 38. Good job. This is the last practice problem, number 3, 63 minus 5. Now what is my first step? Goat? Yes, it is to draw out our ones and tens blocks to show our top number. What is our second step? Little frog? Yes, it is to go ahead and take away a tens block and write out 10 ones blocks, because we cannot take 5 from 3. What is our next step? Bulldog? Yes, we are going to go ahead and take 5 away from our ones position. And that leads us to our final step. What is our final step? Herbie? Yes, we're going to go ahead and count our leftovers out. And what is our answer, class? 58. For your homework tonight, we will be on this worksheet. There is plenty of room to show your work, which will be a part of my grading process. So please show your work. I know this is simple, but once we get into harder things, we will need to know how to do these steps. So today we learned subtracting using base 10 blocks. Our next lesson will be subtracting using base 10 blocks with numbers greater than 10, meaning these bottom numbers will be bigger than 10. Now go ahead and put your math journal away so we can get ready for our science class.